is going on? Hi guys, so today I wanted to talk about teaching from home. I know that there's so much going on in the news at the moment that is filling us with a lot of worry and anxiety and dread. So I don't want to make a whole video ranting and raving about everything that's going on. I could because I have a lot of thoughts, but I won't because that's not what we need right now. I thought that I would make a video thinking about all of the different things that I've been doing to try to keep myself hanging on to some semblance of sanity, in the hopes that you might gain something from this too, because I don't know about you but I've lost the plot now. It's 8 weeks in, I don't know what I'm doing anymore, I don't know what time means anymore, I don't know what it is to exist, I don't know what it means to teach, but I'm figuring it out. So I thought I would bring onto my platform 3 different things that I'm trying to do each day to try to keep myself going as much as possible, in the hopes that you might find this helpful too. I want to preface this whole thing by saying that I'm in a relatively lucky position as quite a young teacher. I don't have my own family, so I don't want this to be a video that is going to be really exclusive to those teachers who are also in my position. I want to try and make it as general as I can. Obviously though, there will be things that I've not experienced and that I've not been able to touch on because I don't have the position of having to look after anyone else in my family at the moment. So I do want to recognise that privilege that I am in, but hopefully anyone in a similar boat will still be able to have some kind of takeaway from this, and I'll be able to help you out because I need this. I need this. So the number one thing that I would say is really important is that you protect your peace at the moment. For me, protecting my peace means starting my day in the best possible way, which is to spend some time in prayer. That just helps me to get myself kind of oriented in the right position to try to give myself and give my day over to God. For you, that might look very different. It might be practicing mindfulness, it might be going for a walk, it might just be having a really good cup of coffee in the morning. And shout out to my brand new coffee machine, I don't know how I do this without you. So that helps me to set up my peace. But protecting my peace for me means not over-engaging with the news. It means not letting myself sit and absorb all of the information that my body has nothing it can do with. It can't process that amount of information and actually implement it in any way. So I'm choosing to not. I'm choosing to stop watching. I haven't watched the news in a couple of months, I think. I do check my daily updates that come through on my phone. I do read the news just for a few minutes, and then as soon as I've got anything that I actually need to be aware of, and as teachers right now there is so much that we do need to be aware of, but as soon as I've got the information, the phone goes down, because it's not worth my time sitting in that space and trying to figure things out that I have no answers for, because you know what? Nobody has any answers at the moment. So protecting my peace means doing what I can to be aware of the things I need to be aware of, and as soon as I'm up to that point, I put it down. What it primarily means is not engaging with the trolls. There are so many people out there who at the moment have any teacher who's part of a union as public enemy number 1. Any union action has historically in this country, well, in the last 40 years anyway, been seen as an evil. We're just trying to look after, you know, the people, but so what I'm doing is making sure that if there are people who are trying to attack the profession, I just turn it off. Whenever I see that, whenever I see a headline that attacks teachers, whenever I see a troll on Twitter that attacks teachers, whenever I see Lord Adonis's face pop up, no, I close it down, because it's not protecting my peace. It doesn't need to come into this space. It can go and stand outside the classroom, because it's not coming in this space. Put that phone down. Put that phone down. Don't engage. Protect your peace, sis. Bro, protect your peace. The second thing that I'm doing is learning to celebrate the small wins that I have every day. I know that as teachers, a lot of us have been trained to think not to over exaggerate and not to praise expected behaviors that you see, not to praise so that it becomes cheap. But you know what? At the moment, there is no expected behavior for your students or yourself. So praise those little things that you've been able to do or that they've been able to do, and it will make you feel so much better. If you've been able to get washed and to get fully dressed by 8:30 a.m, that's a huge win. I don't think I've done that in over a month. This is the first day in that time that I've worn clothes that are not exercise clothes, and you know what? That's a win. I'm celebrating that. If I've drawn up a to-do list and I've been able to cross 2 things off of it, that's a win, because that means that's 2 things that I've been able to sit down and to fully engage with and to put my mind on that day. That's 2 things that I've been able to cross off and know that they're finished. And the other 3 on that list, I'll come back to them tomorrow. Even if it means I've spent half an hour, and it has, half an hour marking an essay that normally would take me 5, I'm not going to beat myself up about that anymore. I have been, and that's not helpful. I'm going to say, you know what, that's 1 more essay that I can put on my done pile, and the others, I'm coming to them. Celebrate the small wins each day and reframe your thinking. You have to do that, because at the moment, we are not teaching in our full capacity. We are teaching. Don't let those trolls tell you that you're not and that you're on holiday. You're teaching, but it's not the capacity that we would normally be able to do. We're sending work out with a response rate of about 30%. That's not normal. We're working with no kind of feedback from our students in the way that we would normally have it. We don't have their faces to look at and engage how much they've understood. We don't have that. We don't have the questions that we would normally get coming at us that we can use to think about how we can make a lesson better. We don't have that. So if you've been able to get 1, 2, 3 things off of your to-do list that day without those kinds of other sources of motivation around you, you've won for that day. You've done it. The third thing that I've been doing that has just really helped me to put things into perspective and to see that I'm really not alone is connecting with the people that I would normally connect with. So that's been connecting with my colleagues, having the occasional Google Meets chat and just checking in, seeing how they're doing, seeing how, you know, they're keeping and they're working, and just trying to make it as much like I'm still working in a department and not working on my own as possible. But primarily it's been connecting with my students. This is the longest time that we've gone as teachers without having that face-to-face contact with our students, at least in person anyway. And even if you are still going into school and you're looking after the key worker children or the more vulnerable children, it's still not the same scale that we would normally have. So being able to have contact with them has been really great for me. I spent the last couple of weeks calling my form group, speaking with their parents and speaking with them, and I think that has made such a difference in the ways that I am thinking about what it is that I'm doing over this side of the computer and what it is that they're doing at home, if that makes sense. Like, it's not just going into a complete void. There are still students on the other side of that computer who are receiving it and who are trying as best as they can to get through this time. So if you can ask your school, if you haven't already, to be able to get in contact with those students, to actually give them a phone call and to see how they're getting on, I think that's really, really great, because it shows those families that you really care as well. That you're not just there as a teacher to make sure that they're learning in the curriculum-based sense, but that they're young people who are getting through this crisis in a way that is healthy. Just checking in, seeing if they've spoken with their friends, seeing if they've gone outside. I spoke to a couple of students who hadn't been outside for a really long time. So me calling them and just asking them if they were okay, I think was really powerful for me, and I hope for them, just to remind them that, you know, this is hard. This is really hard, but they're not doing it on their own. And they're not doing it only in their small, like, household group. They're doing it with all of us. So that's been really, really useful for me. And then beyond my own colleagues, beyond my own students, it's been talking with other teachers on social media. So teacher Twitter has been really great for me, just to think about the ways that other teachers are also in a similar kind of boat. It's not the same boat because we all have our very own different kind of experiences of this whole thing, but they're in similar boats. So we're able to speak with one another, to encourage one another, to swap tips, to swap resources, and I have found that so helpful. So get plugged in on social media with those other teachers. But remember, don't engage with the trolls. Engage with your teachers on social media. As soon as you see a troll, you back off. Back up and protect your peace. So I hope that has been somewhat useful to you. The primary reason that I made this video as well was to just remind myself that what I'm doing and the different techniques that I'm using to protect my own mental health and to look after myself are really important. I've fallen into the trap over the last few weeks of playing the comparison game, but I'm thinking, wow, all of these people who I can see, all of these other professionals, all of these other teachers around me who I can see on social media are doing such an amazing job. They're all thriving, they're all making all these incredible resources, they're all doing these Zoom lessons and Google Meet lessons, and they're taking this on really well, and I'm not doing well. I'm not teaching properly. I can't do my job. And that is such a lie. That is such a lie to tell yourself if you're having those similar thought processes. Don't let that voice get louder. Use these other tips to try to quieten it down, because it's not helpful. It's not true. Don't let yourself think that you're not doing enough by getting up each day, by getting online, by doing something that you want to do, by getting one thing ticked off of your to-do list. You are doing what you can, and that is enough. You can't do more than that right now. These are not normal circumstances where you'd be able to get through all of the different tasks that we were normally able to get through as part of a normal school day. This is not normal teaching. We have to remember that. I saw a really great tweet a few months ago saying, this is not teaching from home, it's not distance learning, this is crisis management. And I don't know about you, but I wasn't trained in crisis management. So whatever it is that I am able to do, whatever tiny baby task it is that I'm able to cross off, that's me managing. So whatever it is that you're able to do, that is you managing. Don't compare yourself. Don't think that you're not doing enough. Don't think that you're not the super teacher who can go and do 1001 things in a day, because none of us are. None of us. None of us. None of us are. Okay? So if that's your one takeaway from this video, then I hope that that's helpful to you. Keep doing the best that you can do, and that's all. We will get through this. We will come out the other side. Hopefully we'll come into a better teaching environment, because we know that there's a lot of things that need to change, and hopefully they will in time. And until that point, just keep on looking after you and getting through each day as it comes. If you would like me to make a video thinking about what it is that I am actually doing in a day where I'm teaching from home, so thinking about the different resources that I've been using, the different kind of technological things that I've been using to aid me, then please do leave a comment down below and I will try to get that video done as well. If not, then please just like this video, subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed what you've seen here, and I will hopefully see you soon. Bye!